It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. It is Monday, August 11th, and may I be the first to wish a happy Monday to you. I'm your host, Davrielle Gardner.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tamika Cartwright.
And we are looking forward to an excellent show today. TCL invites you to register for the 21st Abaco Business Outlook, taking place Thursday, September 18th at the Abaco Beach Resort. This year's theme is prioritizing inclusive, sustainable growth, and the keynote speaker is the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll. Register today at tclevents.com or call us at 322-1000.
That's right.
Tammy, how was the weekend?
You know, it was a good weekend, actually. So I've been growing this one banana tree for, I feel like, forever. And so I've been watching the bananas come out. They finally turned yellow, and now they're all turning yellow. And so I've been making banana muffins all weekend. So that was me. I'm like, I can't eat this all. But I feel like I've been waiting so long for this tree to bloom. You know what I mean?
This is the literal fruit of your labor.
I know. This is the thing that gets me excited, okay, the one banana on the tree. But how about yours?
I had an excellent weekend, quiet time with family, enjoying the rainy Saturday, so mostly just hanging out. But I got to celebrate my grandmother's 81st birthday yesterday, so special happy belated birthday to Janet Dean, who is 81 and absolutely fabulous. And I'm looking forward to my birthday, which is this week Wednesday, because again, August is the most August month of the year. Shout out to everyone who has the privilege of being born this month.
There you go. I have a brother that's in August, so I mean, I get it. Like, I guess I'll give that to you, but hey, November is it, okay? November is it. So how are you celebrating? Any thoughts?
Figuring that out. I was really, I had big plans to be in Paris, but here I am trying to be a responsible adult.
There you go.
And so we're going to figure out something that's really fun.
When you become a mom, right? You got to be the responsible adult.
Exactly.
We got a great show, right? Lots of wonderful things happening.
So much more in store for you today. We're looking forward to our segment with the Department of Public Health, where we'll be hearing about the Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Initiative. We're also going to talk about VAT and back to school with the Department of Inland Revenue.
I know, I can't believe back to school already. My goodness. And speaking of back to school, Dr. Thomas is here, and he's going to be sharing tips about how to keep kids healthy and safe for back to school. And we're also going to be talking about breast cancer with Dr. Don Major. But before all of that, let's take a look at weather with Mr. Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Tommy, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at the weather at sunrise, we do have a ridge of high pressure. That's a dominant feature at this time, supporting stable, dry, hot, and humid conditions over the islands. But you also have a mid-level trough that will create some pockets of showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm during the afternoon. So today, a mix of sun and clouds, hot and humid, and there's a 20% chance of an afternoon shower thunderstorm popping up. High reaching 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, 10% chance of an isolated shower. High low temperature going down to 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regionalized and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 88 and 80. In Jamaica, 92 and 80. In Trinidad, 88 and 77. On the Turks and Caicos Islands, 90 and 78. Across North America, Atlanta, 83 and 71. In Boston, 89 and 70. In Miami, 88 and 80. Dallas, Texas, 96 and 81. And Toronto, Canada, 90 and 72. As you go through the week, high pressure continues to dominate the week feature, but we have some metabolic trough will pass by the island, so for the most part, look at a mix of sun and clouds, still hot, still humid, and there's a 20% chance of an afternoon shower thunderstorm popping up. So temperature daytime be around the 90-degree mark, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts roughly first look at weather sunrise. I'm glad to be inside. Back to you, Tommy.
Thanks, Godfrey. Dr. Don Major is here to talk to us about breast cancer. He's a surgical oncologist. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here this morning.
All right. Well, I know when people hear breast cancer, right, they get a little bit nervous, obviously. So just tell us a little bit about breast cancer and some of the concerns that you even have.
So, I mean, people have the right to get nervous because it is a scary diagnosis to hear. And my whole thing about it is that prevention is much better than cure. And with breast cancer, when we talk about prevention, a lot of it is just being aware of the nature of this disease and being aware that, you know, it affects 1 in 4, sometimes 1 in 8 women. So you can imagine that. Think of that. 1 in 4. So 25% of women are actually going to get breast cancer. Regardless of what they do, that is something that's going to happen. Right. And the thing about it is, if they take this bit of information, be like, you know, be a bit proactive about it. Maybe they can catch it early in order to do something where it's not a death sentence for that person.
Right. So why is that? Why is it that 25% of women are going to get breast cancer? What is it?
Sadly, we don't know the exact mechanism behind why that happens. You know, some people think it's the food that we eat. Some people think it's a sedentary lifestyle. Again, a lot of it has to do with genetics because there are some cancer syndromes that can happen to these women and basically put them at an increased risk for developing breast cancer. So a lot of times I like to tell my women is that I just want you to be aware of your breasts. Basically, I want you to look at them in the mirror when you're in the shower. I want you to actually feel them when you're cleaning off. I want you to actually look for anything that is abnormal at that time. And generally we recommend that women at the age of 40, they start screening and looking for these breast cancers early. But a lot of women are being picked up with breast cancer before the age of 40. So before we even start looking for them, they actually coming in with these lumps in their breasts, and when they get the biopsy, it's cancer, you know? Right. I've had a lady as young as 24 with the diagnosis of breast cancer, and that's kind of unheard of. It's crazy.
So when you say look and examine and check them out, what should we be looking for? So I'm in the shower, I'm in the front of the mirror, wherever it is, what should I be looking for? And how do I do my own little exam?
So you're just looking for anything that's not there, that wasn't there before, or anything that's abnormal, right? Because we don't want you to do a full clinical examination. Basically, we just want you to kind of feel, look in the mirror, see what it looks like. And if anything feels or looks off, then that's an inclination to say, okay, let me go and get this checked out, basically.
Right. Yeah. You know, you have some women that would say, well, I naturally have lumpy breasts or dense breasts, so it's hard to tell if there is in fact something to be concerned about. So what do they do?
So those women definitely should get regular checks with their general practitioner. So again, usually every 6 months or every year, they should go and see them and get a regular checkup, regular clinical breast examination. And depending on the age, they will recommend whether or not they should get a mammogram or an ultrasound or even an MRI of the breast.
Okay. Yep. And then I know sometimes people are a little bit concerned too when it comes down to doing the like the mammograms and whatnot, right? How safe is that when it comes down to like even radiation and things like that? Because people get a little bit nervous. Yep. So tell us about that.
So the mammograms are pretty safe. When we talk about radiation, you probably get more radiation on the outside from the sun that you would get from a mammogram. And generally the mammogram is just once a year, right? And cumulatively over that time, that's minimum radiation exposure. Okay. A lot of people worry about the pain or discomfort that may be associated with mammogram because it's like, you know, squishing your breasts in between these two cold plates, right? Well, I don't know, I've never had one, right? But But I'm just saying, I've seen it done to women, and it's not the most comfortable. But what I tell women as well is that find a facility that you enjoy, or that you like, or that somebody that works there that you're comfortable with, right? So they can actually take their time and do a gradual compression. And if you really have a bad or have a painful experience, the next time you go and do it, you can always take things such as Tylenol or Panadol beforehand, and stay away from coffee for a bit, maybe a few days prior to getting the mammogram, as well as don't go around the time when you're having your period, because it can actually make it a bit more uncomfortable. Yep.
More uncomfortable in that case.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So once an individual is diagnosed with breast cancer, what's the next step? What happens after that?
So generally, to make the diagnosis, first of all, you have to do a detailed history, physical examination, and then you do pretty much a biopsy, right? And generally a biopsy is where they do it either ultrasound guided or mammographic guided, right? And they put a needle directly into the lump, right? And they send that specimen off for testing, tells us it's breast cancer. And then after that, you need to find out whether or not this thing has gone anywhere else. And another important thing we also need to find out about is the receptors, right? So this is not something that we generally practice a lot, but it's something that needs to be done, right? The receptors are estrogen, progesterone, and something called HER2/neu, right? So yes, you got breast cancer. You need to know those receptors to tell what type of breast cancer and to tell exactly how aggressive this breast cancer is. Because based off of those receptors, we actually make treatment options or give you treatment options, right? So if you're somebody that has none of those receptors, so it's called triple negative breast cancer. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of that, but that's a bit more aggressive, right? And generally, if you have triple negative breast cancer, it tends to happen more commonly in our black women, and it tends to happen in the younger women. And these individuals, we tend to give chemotherapy first, right? So if it's not triple negative, it's hormonal positive, then you could actually decide whether or not you want to operate first or give chemo first, based off of the size as well as the stage, because we need to determine exactly where did this tumor go. So you'll need to get a full scan of the body to see if there's anything else in the lung or in the liver. If there's nothing else, it's only located in the breast, and you can actually go straight for surgery. And surgery usually in two forms, right? So you can actually remove the entire breast, right? Or you can just remove the lump, as well as test the lymph nodes at the same time. When you remove the lump, however, you need to get radiation, right? Because whatever it was that caused that breast cancer to occur in the first place, you need radiation to kind of sterilize the remainder of that breast to minimize this from ever coming back in that same breast, right? Some women opt for double mastectomies. Generally, we try and reserve that for the women with genetic predispositions. So there's this gene called the BRCA gene, or the BRCA gene. And this occurs in women that have this strong family history. And generally, if you have the BRCA gene, BRCA1 in particular, you have a 100% chance of getting breast cancer. So those women we recommend, yes, you go ahead and do the double mastectomy, plus or minus a reconstruction. Right?
Wow, I mean, that's a lot. I mean,
It
just
is.
listening to that alone, I can imagine, the conversations that you have to have with people, right, when they're diagnosed. So can an individual, like once you remove the breast, right, and you have, I know you were talking about like the radiation, like can people opt to say, well, I don't want to do radiation, or is it a must? Do they have a choice?
We always have choices, right? Now, we recommend radiation in certain situations.
Right.
So let's say you decide to keep the breast on, just remove the lump like we spoke about earlier. Right. Those individuals is recommended that they get radiation. If you remove the breast and let's say you didn't get all of it, let's say you took it off but the deep margin was still positive, those patients should get radiation. Let's say you take out a few lymph nodes and the lymph nodes have cancer in them, then basically, yes, we send those individuals for radiation as well. Right? So there are certain settings in which you actually need radiation, but again, it's your body, it's up to you. You have the final say on whether or not you want to do it. We wouldn't recommend going against it, but yeah.
And do individuals tend to get breast implants afterwards?
So yes, it all depends on the age and I guess finances as well, because commonly breast implants, we do them privately if you want it, but when it comes to the public sector, you have to actually pay for the implants. They're not supplied by the hospital or the physician. So some women in the public sector, younger women, they want breast implants. We can always send them to the plastic surgeon. they go ahead and purchase the implants, and once we remove the breast, the plastic surgeon comes right in, put the implants in, and then closes everything up. So you kind of go to sleep and wake up and the breast arm is still there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, geez. Well, I mean, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Been wonderful.
Thank you for all the work that you're doing too with
problem,
women in our country.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Bahamas at Sunrise. Be sure to get those breast exams. We'll be right back.
We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Hey family! Step into sophistication at Dash Designer Boutique, number 13 Parliament Street. There you find a wide array of colorful, elegant fashion for ladies. Shop brand name clothing and shoes such as McDougall, Bashley Mishka, Sam Elderman, Jeffrey Campbell, and Jessica Simpson. We've got you covered for the office, date night, red carpet events, and more. Also check out our stunning accessories. That's Dash Designer Boutique, number 13 Parliament Street. Open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Hurricane preparedness is important, and it's easy to get stressed and anxious. The Bahamas Psychological Association is here to remind you it's okay to feel that way, and to take a moment for yourself and to do what it takes to put your mind at ease. Play games, cook your favorite meal, exercise. And if it helps, reach out to family and friends. It will make a difference. This is a message brought to you by the Bahamas Psychological Association.
Welcome back. This morning, we are joined by Ms. Christina Johnson and Mrs. Kenita Saunders Kemp from the Mental Health Programming Unit. They're here to share details about the Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Initiative. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so what does mental health and psychosocial support mean in terms of everyday life?
So what mental health and psychosocial support really is, it's an umbrella term that means any sort of support that is for the promotion and protection of mental health. It is for supporting people post-crisis, and it also is for the prevention of mental health conditions as well. So these things can encompass things that we do in the Family Islands, like psychological first aid training in conjunction with our partners, the Bahamas Psychological Association, and that's something that we will be talking about a little bit more today.
I love that term, psychological first aid, because when you think of an emergency, you have that physical first aid, but that's it. People don't necessarily get that urgent response, especially when there's some sort of group trauma or an accident or something like that, and it's not until it's later in the game that these things tend to unravel. What inspired the launch of this initiative?
So the launch was really inspired after Hurricane Dorian. So it was a collaborative effort with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and other mental health professionals within the country, particular Bahamas Psychological Association. So they noticed the immediate response to do support to our community members in Abaco and Freeport. So that was launched. That was the main initiative, and it also was reinforced after COVID-19 as well. So that support was given to that's where the helplines came in. Mental health professionals were traveling to the islands to offer support when the individuals were here in New Providence and other islands. So that initiative increased the need that mental health is definitely a concern, and support should be given to all community members.
That is so important. What are some of the key goals of this program?
So first and foremost is really strengthening community wellness. So a lot of people, when they think of mental health support, they only think you got to go to the psychologist or the psychiatrist. And that is part of it, but that's not everything. We can be our own supports as well. And so what we have been doing, like my colleague mentioned with the Bahamas Psychological Association, is traveling through the family islands to establish what we're calling nodes. So kind of like a hub, a little resource point for mental health resources, and also to empower community members to be able to assist their community members in times of need. And so that is a 2-day training. And at the end of it, they are certified in psychological first aid. The curriculum is adapted from PAHO, World Health Organization. And so they have a very comprehensive training on how they can be the ones to step in after a crisis, because there's, limited resources throughout the family islands. And so to be able to empower them to help in the interim until a professional can come, it's been very successful and very rewarding as well.
That is so incredibly important. And when you talk about not just existing within the community, but empowering people who are there, who are already there, versus sending somebody to come in, quickly help, and come back. So I think that's an incredible initiative. And speaking of community, what role does community play in terms of mental health?
So we are everybody's support, basically. We are our brother's keeper. So in time of a crisis or in time of a need, we come together as a community, especially in our Bahamian society, because we want to offer support when it's needed. So in the time of a crisis, or any aftermath, even hurricane disaster, even a fire, a car accident, people will literally stop on the road to assist those in need. So that they are offering psychological first aid. It's just, they just don't know it yet, but they are engaged in the activity. So it's very positive, and everybody can benefit from everybody. Everybody can be helpful to each other.
That is an excellent way of reframing it, because it is. People do, have a tendency. Of course, we're nosy, we're curious, we want to see what happened, but we also stop and we want to figure out how to help, which is so important. What services are available through this particular initiative?
So we in the Mental Health Programming Unit, we're part of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Our unit does not offer service provision, but what we do is we link individuals to appropriate resources that already exist. And so through the psychological first aid training, we offer a resource list. And so that would include crisis support helplines, including the ones from the Bahamas Psychological Association. So a trained counselor is on the other end. You can call, you can WhatsApp. If you don't want to speak, you can text WhatsApp. And so those have been in place from the pandemic and Hurricane Dorian, and they're just still continually in use. So there are still resources here. Many people are not fully aware of exactly what is available, but that is part of what we do, is just increasing that awareness.
And to point people in the right direction. Of course, for these training sessions, I guess throughout the islands, is there a cost associated with this?
No, it's free. Totally free. You just have to sign up. It's usually 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., 2 days, back to back. Intense training, you have 5 modules to assist and go throughout the program.
Yeah. And who is the ideal candidate for a program like this?
Anybody in the community, pastors, teachers, people who are self-employed, anybody basically, any adult. And sometimes, and even we may have had a teenager, but unfortunately they didn't show up, but teenagers can assist as well. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this, I mean, there's no downside to participating. It's just a set of skills that are very useful for the community.
That's a lovely term that you use.
Set of
A
skills.
set of skills. Yes.
A way that we like to explain it is that do you have to be a healthcare professional, a nurse or a doctor to be able to save someone's life using CPR? No. This is the exact same concept. You do not have to be a mental health practitioner to be able to assist somebody using psychological first aid. This is for community empowerment. Anybody can learn these skills and they truly can save a life using them as well.
It's just so important. So if somebody wants to participate, again, you mentioned, that it is going to be going to different islands. How do they sign up? Who do they reach out to find out?
So we would organize, first contact will be the Family Island Administrator, because we've already traveled to the majority of the Family Islands. So if we would contact the Island Administrator, tell them about the initiative. Ms. Johnson creates the link where persons can sign up. We create the flyers as well. We provide light refreshments. We tell them it's an intense 2-day course. We really want people to participate in 2-day course because some individuals can only do 1 day, but it's just so much information. So we wanted them to be mandatory 2-day, but we understand things happen. And usually people show up. Yeah.
That is such an excellent resource. If somebody is, watching and they want to get in touch with their person who's on the island, let's say somebody is trained, but they don't know who that person is, how do they find them?
Sure. So what we would be able to do is they can contact us. We know exactly who the members are who have been trained. We keep in touch with them. We do quarterly Zoom meetings just so we can, remain in touch and see if they need any assistance. So if they wanted to contact us, we can definitely share that. That would be our email addresses, our first name and last name. So Christina Johnson at bahamas.gov.bs. and then Kenita Sanders at bahamas.gov.bs. And so we would then be able to link them with the appropriate personnel because on most of the Family Islands now, it's just really the exception of Ragged Island and Rum Cay. We have been to all of them. So there are PFA trained professionals throughout the remainder of those islands, which is excellent and exceptional. And so we're able to get people in contact with the appropriate personnel.
This is excellent news to hear that, folks throughout the Bahamas are going to get the support that they need, that it is available to them, and that you ladies are part of making that happen.
Yes.
So thank you for the work that you do, but also for coming on to tell us all about it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Alive Business is giving you a chance to win a brand new office suite, compliments of custom computers, Boss, Huawei, and Royal Bank of Canada. It's simple. Just pay your Alive bill on time and keep your account current or sign up for Alive Business Fiber. Boost productivity, enhance your office space, and take your business to the next level. Don't miss out. Stay connected, stay current, and you could be the big winner. For more information, call the experts at 242-601-8911.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
Device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
One thing, two things. Blue thing, all things. Things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. I hope that you are having a happy Monday because it's a happy Monday over here. I'm Davriel Gardner.
Good morning, I'm Tamika Cartwright.
So has it been a happy show for you so far, Tim?
It has. You know, it was a very interesting conversation on breast cancer. Of course, that's always a touchy topic, right? But, you know, I mean, he was just giving all the insights into what you should look for, you know, what you need to be concerned about. The most important thing is getting those regular doctor checkups.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, awareness is empowerment and taking advantage of all those resources. Unfortunately, we hate to see the prevalence of breast cancer in our community, but there's so many survivors. There's so much encouragement that speaks to the reality of, first of all, this is not a death sentence. Yeah. Secondly, knowledge is power. And taking control of your health can make all the difference in the world. So that is excellent. We also talked about mental health and we talked about the psychological first aid, which I think is such an important term, but it's such an important concept. You know, people being there in the moment. Obviously, when things happen, when hurricanes happen, when traumatic incidents happen, you don't necessarily have all those resources. So empowering people within the community to be their brother's keeper in this way, I found that so inspiring.
Yeah, so important. And, you know, sometimes, you know, growing up, you kind of, you know, and I guess the times are different, right? Because people would just tell you, like, suck it up. If there was any issues going on, it was suck it up, walk it off, you know, shake it off, drink a cup of tea, you'll be fine. But now, you know, people are really in touch and in tune with themselves and are really, you know, looking after themselves as it relates to mental health. So I think it's a good thing.
Absolutely. So important. And we've got more great stuff coming up in the second half of today's show. We're going to discuss VAT and back to school with the Department of Inland Revenue.
That's right. We'll take another look at Leno's opening. But before all that, let's take a look at weather with Mr. Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Tommy. Good morning, Bahamas. Yes, take a look at the weather sunrise. Take a trip around the tropics. This morning, you have two systems left you monitoring. There's organized showers and thunderstorms associated with a trough of low pressure over the central tropical Atlantic. Has a 20% chance of development over the next 7 days. And then you have showers and thunderstorms associated with a well-defined low pressure area near the northwestern Cabo Verde Islands. The system moves to the west. It's likely to become a tropical depression or tropical storm the next day or two. And so it has a 90% chance of tropical storm formation over the next 7 days. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation expected during the next 7 days. In the marine forecast today, winds easterly 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the U.S. On Tuesday, continuing easterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet of southeastern islands. On Wednesday, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 9:55 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 4:05 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 14 minutes past 10. Sunset, 7:45 this evening. Rising more morning at 6:43. UV index 9. Your water temperature 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase, full moon. Your external look, high pressure continues to be a dominant feature. Some hot and humid conditions of the week. But you're going to watch a couple mid to upper level troughs moves, especially one to the east of us in the central tropical Atlantic. That's going to cause probably some swells for the boating community, and also a couple of passing showers over the west or the eastern islands. Temperature daytime be on the 90-degree mark, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts her up in front. Look at weather at sunrise. I'm Captain Burnside. Back to the show.
Leno Corporate Services, one of the Bahamas' premier financial services firms, marked two major milestones on Friday, July 18th. The grand opening of its $40 million national headquarters and its 15th anniversary with a night that celebrated legacy, innovation, and Bahamian excellence. The 7-story Leno Corporate Center now stands as a symbol of national pride and vision for the future.
This is a milestone, and we couldn't achieve it without you. Today marks not just one achievement. We have gone through 15 years, and today we're culminating the opening of this building. And this is our national headquarters going forward.
Founder and CEO Sean K. Longley opened the evening by reflecting on how far the company has come, from humble beginnings to now managing over $1 billion in assets.
We've gone from being $0 under management back 15 years ago to over $1 billion under management and administration. And that's not just local, that's international and Bahamian. So that's, for me, is a testament of what we can achieve as Bahamians.
Longley highlighted the $250,000 endowment to the University of the Bahamas, underscoring Leno's continued investment in future leaders.
Leno has grown from being the boutique to being the realty to being Leno Trust. And what we find more passionate is the ability to give back to community. We have the Leno Foundation. We support sports, we support culture, we support education. And one of the things that I'm so proud of is that back in 2018, we were able to donate to the University of the Bahamas an endowment of $250,000. And I think that that's a testament of not just being successful, but the fact that individuals like us can come together and serve. And yeah, you make money, but the thing is, you have to be able to give back. I value my staff. They've done a wonderful job. Without them, we could not have achieved what we've achieved.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, who delivered the keynote address, praised the building's design and Leno's vision.
This building is no ordinary office complex. It's a statement, not just about Leno, but about, as you have pointed out, Bahamians, and what we can do when we believe in ourselves. Designed by Bahamians, engineered by Bahamians, built by Bahamian hands, 6 stories, 50,000 square feet, not bought, but built. Let's not take that lightly, because for too long, we have been told, sometimes even by each other, that success belongs elsewhere, somewhere else. That real quality must be flown in. That big things can't come from small places. But here we are, and here you are, standing in a building that says otherwise. I've said this before, and I'll say it again tonight. We are a small country, but we are not a small people. The talent is here, the capacity is here, the brilliance is here, and the only thing that ever needed to change was how we see ourselves. That's why, as a government, we are investing in education, in skills, in mentorship, in capital access. Because every time someone like you breaks through, The next young Bahamian sees the path more clearly. They stop asking, is it possible? And they start saying, if he did it, I can do it too. That's what our story is and should be now. It's a reference point. It's proof. It's hope. And I want to speak to the parents for a moment, the mothers and the fathers on the family islands in particular, raising children with more love than money. Look at this man, his parents from the family island. He ain't spent much time in Andros, but they came from Andros. His parents came from Andros. Right? They didn't have much, but they gave him enough. They gave him faith. They gave him values. They gave him the kind of foundation no bank can offer. And he built something that will outlive all of us. That's what you give them, Sean. You gave your parents back the gift they gave you. That is a powerful thing. That's the kind of thing that moves a nation forward.
The blessing of the edifice by Right Reverend Leish Boyd added spiritual significance to the moment as he prayed over the space and its legacy.
The Lord be with you. May God's blessing be upon you now and forevermore. Amen.
Leno Chairman Montgomery Brathwaite delivered the vote of thanks and spoke to the strength of Leno's mission and its commitment to excellence.
I've had the privilege of knowing Sean for many years. Our careers kept us in touch over the years. And when he came to me about 15 years ago, asking if I would serve as chairman for a new financial services firm he was starting, I was humbled by the invitation and happy to say yes. And I've been proud to serve in that role ever since. As chairman of Leno Corporate Services and Leno Trust, I believe I have provided some guidance along the way, but make no mistake, what you see here today is a product of Sean's vision, his determination, and the incredible team that surrounds him. The center is a tangible symbol of what happens when passion meets persistence, and when a small, nimble company rises to meet the needs of its clients with excellence. I want to thank each and every person who made this possible today, our partners, our employees, and of course, our clients. We have been very deliberate about how we invited here today, because everyone at this function has played a meaningful role in helping us to build Leno into what it is today. In a business like ours, where trust must be earned and credibility built over time, your support, your confidence has made all of this possible. To our Governor General, our Prime Minister, and all the dignitaries, protocol have already been established. I want to thank you for your presence and for your recognition of the importance of Bahamian-led entrepreneurship. To our clients, many of who go back well into our earliest days, thank you for believing in us when we were small and staying with us as we grew. To our team, thank you for your long, hard work and unwavering commitment. 15 years in, I can say with great pride, we have come a long way. We didn't start out with the size or scale of our competitors, but we were responsive, we were diligent, and we never lost sight of the clients we serve. That's why we are still here.
Vice President Cleora Farquharson called the night a dream 15 years in the making, a dream realized not only for the company, but for the clients they serve.
It's 15 years in the making.
If you walk past or you drive past this building, like someone just mentioned, it's not a building, it's an edifice. It's a testament to hard work. It's a testament to vision. It's a testament to those hard years of working. I mean, it's a beautiful building. It's state of the art. We have offices. Lots of people are clamoring to come in here just to be a part of this beautiful landmark. And like I said, I'm very, very proud to be a part of this dedication tonight. And I look forward to another 15 years working at Leno and providing excellent, exceptional service to our clients.
As the evening drew to a close, Leno's leaders, including Director Crystal Rutherford Ferguson and COO Andre White, shared pride in the organization's impact and excitement for the years ahead.
I am beaming with pride. Leno has come a far way. Of course, we are celebrating 15 years of Leno being in existence and 15-year anniversary. But more than that, we're also celebrating this beautiful edifice, this beautiful 7-story building, which is a huge accomplishment for any individual to do. And to know that it was done by a Bahamian, a person who is of our native soil and who did all of this, it's a huge, huge accomplishment, and I'm just so happy to be a part of this venture and to lend of my expertise in any way possible, because I really believe in the vision that Sean has set for Leno and for this organization.
Oh, it's been an amazing journey. 15 years in a company that's serving so many important reasons for Bahamians to secure their financial future. It's really been an amazing time, and we're doing some very important things for the Bahamian society.
With 15 years of impact and a bold new headquarters, Leno is building more than a business. It's shaping a legacy of Bahamian excellence and charting the course for the next generation of leadership, innovation, and national pride.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together, or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are discussing back to school and VAT. Here from the Department of Inland Revenue is John Williams, Communications Manager. Good morning, Mr. Williams, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Bahamas. Thank you for having me.
All right, so when we're talking about back to school, I'm sure parents are looking for as much savings as they can find. So we're going back to basics. Obviously, we do have some exemptions, or we have some special, effects on VAT for back to school. But for those who don't know, or who are so fortunate to be unfamiliar, talk to us about exactly what VAT is.
So everybody should know that VAT, or better known as value-added tax, is a consumption tax, and it is on just about everything, right? And currently VAT is 10%, and everybody pays VAT. So the government some years ago decided that for back to school, in an effort to make school shopping less expensive for parents, they decided to impose a VAT holiday for back to school. So there are school items across the board that businesses across the entire Bahamas participate in, thus giving parents a little break for school shopping.
So when it comes to these items, I know you mentioned there are some items across the board. Is this something that is just set in stone for back to school each year, or does it change from year to year what those items are?
It can change from year to year, depending on the climate of items and stuff like that. Certain products may change all the value, or they may, whatever it is that's happening worldwide. So the idea is to have the list and update it as necessary. So we usually converse with businesses locally, and we have that discussion to decide if something should be added on the list or maybe something should be taken off of.
What are some of those items that folks can look forward to experiencing that VAT holiday on?
So just to give you a brief overview, the overall head is personal computers. You have things like pens and pencils, notebooks, legal pads, down to printer ink, hand sanitizer. We have clothing as well. So to give you an example for clothing and footwear, it's all uniforms or fabric for uniforms and belts. Once it's less than $100 per unit. Things like footwear, shoes, tennis socks, stockings, and there's pencil cases. There's even hair accessory. So any hair accessory with a sale price of $30 or less are part of the holiday.
That's excellent. Now, when you talked about these items, obviously they're used for our students, but a lot of these items can be used for older individuals, folks who aren't in school. Is it the items themselves that are on VAT, or is there some sort of proof required that you are purchasing these items for a student?
Oh, definitely not. We want to encourage persons outside of students to take advantage of the holidays. So offices can take advantage of it because it's a good time to buy office supplies. The clothing option is it's open, so teachers have to buy clothes for school as well, so they can also take advantage of it. So we have to look at it holistically. While it's designed for back to school, the regular citizen or regular businesses like offices that can take advantage of things like printer ink, and teachers can also take advantage of clothing and hair accessories.
That is excellent news for shoppers like me. I'm sure folks are excited to hear about that. What is the window of time for this VAT holiday?
The VAT holiday began August 10th, which was yesterday, and it lasts until September 6th.
Okay.
So just about a month.
All right. And are all entities throughout the Bahamas, they are required to participate in this experience?
As long as you are compliant with the government with regards to your VAT, you must be a part of the holiday. So businesses have been used to it for many years now. So they know the time is coming, so they have their POS systems ready. They have these items set out to be discounted at a zero VAT percentage, and they're good to go. We just hope that Bahamians take advantage of this opportunity because it's a good way to support local businesses as well.
Okay. Is there some sort of reference guide where persons can actually see, hey, it's supposed to be pens, it's supposed to be paper, it's supposed to be calculators? Where is that listing about what is exempt for this holiday so that they can be sure they're enjoying it?
Definitely. Well, the Department of Inland Revenue prides itself on being with the times, right? So everything that we do is placed online. It's virtual, right? So you can go to our website, inlandrevenue.finance.gov.bs. You'll see, as soon as you go there, there's going to pop up for the back to school holiday. Once you click that, you'll see the procedure for merchants, which is a short 8-step program for persons that may not have been a part of it before. And then you'll also see a detailed list of all the items. This list can also be found on our socials, DIR Bahamas.
Okay, so important. And what is that accountability, or what are those checks and balances looking like within your department to ensure that all of the vendors are actually participating?
Well, honestly, we don't have the staffing to police all of the businesses across the country, right? So what we like to do is use our Bahamian people as part of our team, to be a part of our enforcers. So persons that are entering stores and may buy a pen or pencil or a school shoe and realize that they're still being charged VAT, we ask that you contact us and let us know so that we can go to that business. Our phone lines are open. It's 225-7280. We're very active on social media. That is Facebook, Instagram, and DIR Bahamas. Send us a message. I promise you we'll go out and ensure that everybody is compliant.
That is so important. I love it. You're deputizing the public to make sure. And if you're like me, I'm going to make sure that I get the deal that I am supposed to get.
You know, the Bahamian people are going to talk now. So we're going to talk.
Finally, what's the hope of this VAT holiday? What is this supposed to do for our community?
Well, the government, as I said many years ago, saw fit that they want to give the Bahamian people a break with regards to school shopping and just having a break on so much expenses in life in the country. What this will do, it will make school shopping easier for parents. It will make shopping easier for the teachers. It will make it easier to buy for office supplies for businesses. And of course, it supports the local businesses that sell all of these items. So before you decide that you may want to take a trip away to buy certain things, you can buy them locally. And so we encourage persons to shop locally, to buy all your school supplies and office supplies. Instead of taking that trip away, let's keep the money inside the country and support each other.
That is an excellent initiative. I'm sure so many parents are watching. They are looking forward to taking advantage of it. And so many people in general are looking forward to enjoying the little bit of savings as we wrap up our summer break. Well, thank you for joining me this morning to tell us all about it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Again, I implore the Bahamian people to take advantage of the back to school holiday, and anything that you need to know about the Department of Inland Revenue can be found on our website, inlandrevenue.finance.gov.bs.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Have a wonderful morning.
You too. And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Today marks not just one achievement. We have gone through 15 years, and today we're culminating the opening of this building. And this is our national headquarters going forward.
This building is no ordinary office complex. It's a statement, not just about Leno, but about, as you pointed out, Bahamians, what we can do when we believe in ourselves.
I am beaming with pride. Leno has come a far way. Of course, we are celebrating 15-year anniversary, but more than that, we're also celebrating this beautiful edifice, this beautiful 7-story building.
Lots of people are clamoring to come in here just to be a part of this beautiful landmark.
This isn't, oh, we build a building and then we're going to stop. We want to continue to grow. Let's move forward.
Well, I hope you've had a happy Monday, because we sure have had a happy Monday here on Bahamas at Sunrise. So many wonderful resources for us to take advantage of this week, to make the most of our week, to make the most of our back to school experience, and the most of the rest of our year.
That's right. And sending early birthday wishes to you too.
Thank
for
you.
Wednesday. Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yes, I'm very excited.
There you go. And we'll see you all on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.